Warriors, this past week on Tuesday, they took the L 119 to 115 at Denver. That was the final game of the NBA Cup in the round, I guess, where everybody plays everybody once. So after that game, Steve Kerr did call out Pajemski a little bit at the in the post game. Follow that up. They get the win at home against Houston on Thursday, 99 to 93. Then Friday on the back-to-back, Minnesota comes in. They lose 107 to 90, but then they follow that up on Sunday with the win 114 to 106 versus Minnesota on Sunday. So, Draymond Green is out, right, for about a month or so. He got hurt, right?
Yeah.
I think I saw that. So that's unfortunate. They're 14 and 9. They're fifth in the West. The upcoming game is the NBA Cup knockout rounds. The Warriors will be playing at Houston on Wednesday, and then it's kind of to be determined after that. There's going to be at least one more game. Uh, if they get eliminated, I don't know who it's going to be. If they win, it'll be the winner of the other West team, and that'll be the semifinals in Las Vegas. The semifinals and the finals of the NBA Cup are in Las Vegas, so that's kind of where the schedule is at. We're kind of in a weird place a little bit with the NBA schedule. It's like I don't know what's
This is just
happening.
the
Yeah,
this is the midseason tournament, right? They
yeah,
just
that's
call it a new
correct.
thing.
Yeah, this is
And,
the second year of it. Yeah,
and what do you win? They
a
just get
trophy
extra
and
money.
then a money. Yeah. And then
I
just kind
don't
of generates a little bit of excitement, and then you get fun uniforms, and the courts look a little different, and it's just it's
I
another
don't care about
marketing
that.
opportunity.
Yeah.
um
If
I
you
will say,
if you win the whole tournament, you should
mhm,
be guaranteed you're the 10 seed at worst case you're the 10. Like,
you've locked in a playoff spot of some kind, or yeah, yeah,
yeah,
I would
something. I
agree.
don't know, you're locked into the play in tournament,
Yeah,
I don't know. But
yeah,
this
so
just
if you
seems
lose
bad.
every game from there and you're ranked 15th, you still get the 10 seed, or
Right,
whatever.
right.
I
Yeah.
don't necessarily hate that idea. I kind of like that idea.
Yeah, like it needs to
Just
be
add
something more
make
juicy.
something on the standings, make it worth it, for sure.
Exactly. If
I
you're going to
get
make it a
that.
real tournament, make it they're already making generational wealth.
Yep.
There's another check of a
100K, yeah, yeah.
generational wealth.
Yeah,
Like,
break
you
off
know,
another 100K. Yeah.
yeah.
No, I get that. And I don't necessarily disagree. I think that's probably a good idea. Let's run it up to Adam Silver, see what he says. Um,
All right. I'm going to email.
yeah. Go ahead and fire off that email, and we'll go from there. Yeah, so we're just kind of in a holding place right now. They're fifth in the West. They're, I mean, every loss drops them two. Every win moves them up two in the standings. Everything's kind of bunched up in the West right now. So, yeah, so by the end of this week, they could be sitting third, or they could be sitting seventh. Like, I mean, it's kind of tough to know, especially when you only have one officially scheduled game right now. The next one is to be determined. We just don't know.
Right.
So I think with that, we're let's just move over to the WNBA. Let's talk
Yeah.
Valkyries. So they had the expansion draft on Friday. That this is the first expansion draft in the WNBA since 2008. Bay Area legends got to announce different players. So you had Michelle Wee West, the former golfer. She announced the first four players, and so we have Ileana Rupert from Atlanta, Maria Condi from Chicago, Veronica Burton from Connecticut, and Carla Lietti from Dallas are coming over. Then E40 took the mic. He announced Temi Fagbenli from Indiana, Stephanie Talbot from Los Angeles, Cecilia Zandalasini, got it, nailed it, from Minnesota, and Kate Martin from Las Vegas. I'm surprised they didn't protect her, you know?
Yeah.
Uh, that's a fan favorite thing. And then Baron Davis came out and announced Kayla Thornton from the New York Liberty, Monique Billings from Phoenix, Julie Van Loo from Washington, and then no selection from Seattle. So there's a couple of notes here on that. Kate Martin was a fan favorite and a locker room favorite, really. Asia Wilson, who's, three-time league MVP,
Yeah.
already an all-time great player. She like that was her little sister. Like she was on
Yeah.
social media like making jokes, but also like truly sad about losing her little buddy Kate. So Kate Martin's coming to the city, and that's probably going to be your top selling jersey unless some superstar gets traded over here too. Speaking of which, Seattle made there was no selection made from Seattle. Part of that was uh Seattle only had about 5 players that were like under contract. So they basically protected everybody that was available to protect, right?
Right.
And and then after that, Jewel Lloyd, like right before the expansion draft, superstar guard Jewel Lloyd, she requested a trade. Now she's from like Chicago or something. So if she does get traded, if she wants to go be closer to home, she'd have to go like somewhere toward the Midwest or whatever. But if she's just trying to get out of Seattle, and the Valkyries did not take a player from Seattle, maybe there's a trade being discussed in the works behind the scenes or something. I don't know. It would like you said you wanted to make a trade to get up and get the number 1 seed. I think this would be a better move because you get an established superstar like Jewel Lloyd from Seattle. I think
You
this might
gotta
be
do
the
both,
play.
Vince. You
I
gotta do both.
I don't know. I would love to do both. I'd love to see it, but I think the Jewel Lloyd thing that might be an actual possibility. So kind of let's. I'm just gonna put that out there. Like let's see what happens. Um.
And there's
Uh.
still free agency to get through.
Exactly.
And
All
I
of these
did
players. Oh. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I did read up on, I think there's only a couple of players. I think Kate Martin is one of them. And I think most of these players are 1 year deals
Hmm.
because most players in the league right now are like opting out of deals. They only want to sign a 1 year deal because they want the new CBA kicks in. It's
Exactly.
going to be a different CBA. So
Hmm.
the Valkyrie may have gotten themselves a really good player in Kate Martin. That's kind of like the big player of
Yeah. Yeah.
who they got. If
Yeah.
they're able to make a trade and even sign some free agents this year, you could be a really good team this year and then basically rebuild it again next year
Hmm.
with the superstars that you locked in this year. And you got the draft and you got free agency again. So it's a really interesting time for the Golden State Valkyrie because it's their inaugural season. They
Yep.
get the expansion draft, they got the free agency, but
Yeah.
then the collective bargaining agreement is this whole other wrench
Hmm.
where there's going to be a ton of free agents next year.
Yeah. So
So
and
very
also
interesting to me.
a lot of these players that they selected, they're not on like expensive deals either. These are
Correct.
pretty cheap deals. So you have some money to play around and go out and try to sign a free agent. Somebody like Kelsey Plum or what.
I mean, you
Yeah,
got Kate Martin.
Kate Martin's already there. You got the former head coach Natalie Nakasi was the assistant coach in Las Vegas, and I think that's why Kate Martin ended up being the player. As soon as they don't announce who's protected or anything, so we just kind of find out who wasn't by who got selected. You know,
Right.
um, so that's kind of interesting too. As soon as Kate Martin was available, I'm sure that was like a done deal. Like she was coming. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. Well, I'm kind of excited to see what
I
happens,
like
how it
it.
shakes down. And the uniforms, they unveiled the uniforms just before the
I
expansion
saw
draft too.
Draymond. I saw
Yeah,
Draymond in the custom
Draymond,
Draymond
Steph
Green jersey.
Curry, even Kuminga had a custom one as well. They actually put like people they released the uniforms, and then they said, "Oh, we want to see some names on it," because the expansion draft was coming or whatever. And they said, "Okay, fine, all right, bet." And so then they had all the Warriors players' names on the with the number 25 for year 2025, the first year. So
Right.
that was kind of cool. You know what, the I kind of dig the black ones. The white ones, I think there's not enough purple on them. It's just it looks black and white. It's a little boring to me, I think.
No, the
But
black ones are really cool.
the black ones look pretty cool. I'd be
Yeah.
excited to grab one of them.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah, those are dope.
so looking forward to that, and I'm just kind of looking forward to seeing what players end up actually on the team, so we can know what jerseys to buy.
Yeah.
Uh,
For sure, man. No, it's
yeah.
definitely an exciting time. I definitely think like maybe I'm already a little biased, but I think like the logo, the color, the scheme, like
Mhm.
already the Valkyrie are like you look at the logo and the colors and everything, the jerseys, winning has to go with it.
Yeah.
But just right now, you put that up against a lot of the logos and things like that,
Mhm.
that one pops. Like it really pops.
Mhm.
Um, I don't think the Toronto franchise popped.
Yeah.
Or
No.
maybe it did, but in the wrong kind of way.
Yeah. No. So they did.
Minnesota, Toronto announces that they will get a WNBA team, and they've announced the name, which is the Toronto Tempo. The
Yeah.
Toronto Tempo.
Yeah. It didn't
That
work
just
for
made me think of the
Ford.
Ford.
Dude, I that was my second car was a Ford Tempo.
It just made me think of the Ford Tempo, bro. Like it
I think
really
that's the
did.
car I was driving when we first met. Was a Ford Tempo, and then I moved up to a minivan. But for a little bit, remember that before I had my Explorer? Oh my god. So, but yeah, the Ford Temp, excuse me, the Toronto Tempo. I just the logo is kind of it's like a monochromatic blue almost, like it's like a gray blue. It does not pop. It's a deep like maroon red, but not even like a you know a bright, like it's muted colors, I guess. I
It's
don't
not
really
good.
love it. It's not
It's
that
not
great.
good.
I think if you had all the logos and everything else right, I think it could have worked. But as it stands right now, I don't love it. I don't love it. I'm glad we're the Golden State Valkyries and not the Golden State Tempo. I'll say that. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, just reading the articles and everything that's going on when they're like, oh, here's the expansion draft for Golden State, like
mm,
you just know, like, oh, Golden State Valkyrie. It sounds good.
yeah,
Toronto Tempo. Like,
yeah. It's
you know,
alliterative. Alliteration's
yeah,
good for certain points, but eh, yeah,
yeah. So Valkyrie off to a great start. Very exciting. We get to see a franchise come to its inception and first game. And, it's going to be exciting to see the tempo as well.
mhm.
Maybe
And
we're not
Portland's also
fans of it.
coming in. Portland's coming in the
Yeah,
league as well the same year. So
it's a really exciting time for, I think, sports, not just women's sports, but sports overall. Um, that there's a lot of, things happening and new teams developing and the league is growing. I think
yeah,
that's all great. We've
yeah,
mentioned this before that the WNBA, like maybe the players are women, but there's a lot of jobs and things around the sport that is men and women of all
mhm,
races and gender and whatever. There's a lot of jobs and energy that goes behind it for everybody. Same thing with the NBA. There's a lot of jobs for women in the NBA. There's going to be a lot of jobs for everyone
mhm.
um,
Yeah.
as well in
This.
the WNBA. So I think it's great. It
Oh
creates
yeah.
more jobs.
It's a 44 game schedule, so 22 home games on top of the 41 home games plus any
Right.
preseason games from the Warriors. And then you add in concerts and stuff. The ushers, the people that work concessions,
Exactly.
y- you're basically creating full-time year-round employment for them. I
Exactly.
love that. I
It's
love
great.
that. It's great. Last note for WNBA: Indiana is going to host the All-Star game middle of July. The 18th is your skills competitions. The 19th is going to be the game itself. So looking forward to that. And Caitlin Clark's going to be playing in the All-Star game at her home arena.